Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest today is Kim Erwin, and Kim is a wife and a boy mom. She helps bring calm to the chaos by teaching them how to get rid of the clutter. She believes that your home is your haven, and she empowers people to create the space that they want in pockets of time so they can spend more time doing things that bring them joy. Welcome to the show, Kim Erwin.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Jim. I'm excited to be here tonight.
I'm excited to have you, and we've had a lengthy conversation beforehand.
Yes, sir.
We had somebody on before that might know you, that was on the show before. Yeah, Sean, her husband, Sean. Okay. So at the end of that, I was going to say, and you have to keep Sean in line. So that was going to be the joke there, but I decided, yeah, we'll do it this way. Maybe that's a little easier. Okay, and I ask this every single time. Well, not every time, but oh, wait. I got to take the glasses off because of the glare. Now I am officially blind, like I say in every show. All right. So the first question is, what lit the fire for you to become an entrepreneur? Maybe it was always there. I don't know. Just let us know why you wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Sure. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, even though I haven't always, had my own business, but it's really been the freedom. And, as I've learned along the way, I just love so much about it with the freedom, and also that your income isn't capped, that your time is really your own. And that's something that has just always drawn me to that. And really fulfilling your purpose. I really feel like with being an entrepreneur that you can really do things the way that you want to do them and really help a lot of people and fulfill your purpose.
It's powerful what you said about time, because I think that my time is worth more than money. People don't understand that at work because they'll be wanting to work overtime and get time and a half or whatever. And I'm like, no, I mean, I'm trying to do something else, and I'm trying to, build what I'm building. And no, it's not worth that to me. So when you said free up your time, that's very important. People don't realize that. My definition, at least, of being wealthy is having enough time and money to do whatever you want.
I love that, because as an entrepreneur, obviously you do put in a lot of hours a lot of times, but to me it's different. It's different than when you're working for someone else, because as you said, Jim, I've been there where I've worked a ton of hours and sacrificed a lot of stuff with my family, even time with my husband. And really, that's really what made me want to go out on my own, is because I just saw how I was working so many hours and we were just missing out on valuable time together. And that's what really just helped me make the decision that it was time to go out on my own.
Yeah, I understand that, because I'm trying the same thing. I don't know how I'm going to get there quite yet, but we've been talking about that a little bit. Okay, so on this show, we talk about not only the glory of entrepreneurship, wink, wink, but also the struggle and the limiting beliefs and the external things that happen to us. What things, internal or external, have kind of been roadblocks on your journey, and how did you overcome them, or are you still going through them now?
Sure. There's still some that, I think we always battle things, no matter what they are. I will say a big thing is, when I didn't know until I started investing in myself and learning more about this, but it's called like the imposter syndrome, where, you're ready to do something, and then all of a sudden your mind starts filling with all these negative things like, well, who's going to buy this from you? Who do you think you are to teach this, or things like that? And, that's something that I think I always battle, that I'm still to this day, like saying, okay, like I know what I offer is valuable. I know I can help people and I love helping people, but it's one of those things where, you're always going to have thoughts that you're battling, that no matter, I think, how far you get, because I've even spoken to people who have quote unquote made it really high, and they're still battling these thoughts. And so it's just really, like you were talking about, just a lot of shifting mindset constantly and recognizing things when they come up. So that way you're aware at least of where these things are coming from and how you can overcome them.
Yeah, that's true. I have a lot of them myself, and I'm totally transparent on this show. I totally tell everybody where I'm at. No big deal with me, So Um, on your journey, what sacrifices have you had to make to go out on your own?
Sure. It was at first, it was the stability of income because I was making a very good salary and it was a scary jump. And I did it. I just did it. And it's hard sometimes taking that leap of faith when you don't know where you're going to land, but I'm so thankful I did it because it was the best decision that I did. And sometimes those steps look different for everyone. Sometimes, someone may not be able to just take that full leap, but I will say, like, each step that you can take, just take it. Because you're never going to feel fully ready. You will never feel ready to do this. It's just literally, like Jim, you and I were talking about, as my coach has told me, a lot of times in entrepreneurship, you're at the bottom of a mountain, you're looking up and you want to get straight there. And it doesn't happen like that oftentimes. Usually it's this whole windy road up the mountain to get there. And I think that's just what it is. It's taking one step each day because every step, honestly, can be scary and you're never fully ever going to feel ready. So it's just, for me, that was a leap of faith that I took, but there's a lot of steps that I've taken since then that are baby steps to get to where I want to be.
And I think that I've said this almost on every show, that your inside stuff will mirror your business. Your business is basically you. And so when you mature and you get past these things and you start to change your mindset, your business starts to change. And then you continue to battle your inside stuff, or the stuff that's holding you back. Along this entire journey, it's just a battle with that person in the mirror. So it leads me to the question of, do you think, as an entrepreneur, that there's more of a struggle because we're so out there, you know what I mean? And that we have to confront things inside of ourselves more than if we just went to work and punched a clock, because we want to move forward. We want to move forward. And the only way for us to move forward seems to be to get to another level internally.
You're exactly right on that. And I firmly believe that it is a constant working on yourself. But I will tell you another very valuable thing that I learned, because it's just something that you made me think about when you said it, is, yes, it is looking in the mirror every day and changing, your thoughts and your thought patterns and different things like that. But the biggest thing I've learned is you don't have to share your plans with everyone. And by that, I mean that everybody's not going to be supportive on this journey that you go on, because it's a unique journey.
Yes.
And what I will say is that it's okay not to share your plans with everyone, whether that's family or really good friends, that you want to be protective of that, because what happens is you can be up high here thinking, okay, I'm going for it and I'm taking this leap. And one person that you trust or means a lot in your life, like a family member or a good friend, can say one thing and that'll stop you from taking that step that you were so confident that you should have been taking. And so, yes, I agree wholeheartedly with you that it's the internal things with us that it is something we constantly have to look at. But I will also say it's the external as well, because there's so many people that I see that are not taking that next step because, oh, well, I have a secure job, or I have this, or I have that, or my family said this, or my significant other said this. And I've just learned that if you're confident in the direction you should go, then sometimes it's okay to keep things to yourself and just go in that direction.
That's really interesting, to keep things to yourself. I found that there's a lot of people that watch us, even the negative people, even the people that speak negativity towards us, and say, well, I don't know what you're doing. You really should get a job because you're lazy, or you're this, or you're that, or they don't understand what we're doing, but yet they're watching, because if we do succeed, they're the first ones that are going to be there to have us teach them.
You're right. You're right.
I kind of look at, this is just for me, but I kind of look at it like they aren't there yet.
Yeah.
And so I don't blame them for what they say, and I don't take it to heart, obviously. But I look at them as they're just not there yet. They just don't, they either don't understand, or they've been burned by it before, or they failed before and don't want to try any longer, and they've convinced themselves that the safe, secure job is the way to go. And I'm not gonna say that they're wrong for that. It's just not, not the way I want to live my life. So we have a choice. We have a choice to listen to those people. We have a choice to, like you said, don't disclose everything you do to everyone, because maybe it's none of their business.
Yeah. And you know what? Let them watch if they want to, because your path is your path and their path is their path. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people that are not called to entrepreneurship. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we obviously need people that are willing to stay in jobs, for many years on end and things like that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But, where the challenge can come in is when you're sharing your journey with someone, when you're trying to, and then they try to come down on you for that. That's just going to be another thing that you have to battle in your mind, that really you shouldn't have to, because your journey is your journey. And you just have to be confident and go in it. Now, I'm not talking about not having mentors and things like that, because I do have mentors and coaches and things like that. I'm just talking about just people in general that are in your life that just really may not understand.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. I just wanted, let's see, I was trying to think as I lost my question, which is wonderful when you're doing this. And I don't edit anything, so I just leave everything in, so that's fine. But we were talking a lot about limiting beliefs and things that are internal towards us. And we do self-sabotage a lot when we don't believe we're going the right way. Did you have anything in your journey so far that you felt like you self-sabotaged yourself a little bit?
Oh, I do. And I have to tell you, the only reason that I've been moved forward is because I hired a coach and I have a mentor that has helped me through that. And I mean that honestly. She has helped me tremendously, because there have been so many times where I've said, nope, don't want to go in this direction. No, don't want to do this. And she has helped me overcome that thinking and see things in a different light that I wouldn't have been able to see on my own. I would have stayed stuck if I wouldn't have her in my life.
I think mentors and coaches are invaluable to us. Mm-hmm. I think that when we get stuck, that, well, basically we're kind of in a forest, and they can see further than we can.
Yes.
And so we don't even know which path to take, let alone, like if you're in the jungle and you have to take a machete and cut and all this stuff. We don't even know which way to cut.
Yeah.
And a coach has already been there. Your mentors have been there before. They know which path to take. They know how to set you on the right path, and they give you a task to do. You do the task and you listen to them, and you just do what they tell you to do instead of trying to figure it out for yourself. I mean, there's some things that you should try to figure out for yourself. Right. I'm not saying that everything, but I'm saying that a lot of stuff in business and on this journey that coaches can help us see it can just help us go in the right direction, which is invaluable.
It really is. And, every coach is different. But I will say the one that I have now, and I told you, she's changed my life. And what I love about her is she's helped me to realize that the answers are already inside of me. I already know what to do. She helps guide me on things, but really it's just not questioning myself in a lot of these things any longer. It's being confident in knowing what I'm doing. And again, she'll guide me, but what I've really realized is that the answers have been there all along. It's just been me and my mind that have stopped me from moving forward.
Your own self.
Yes.
That's the thing. And I've interviewed quite a few people at this point, and it does seem that that's the same way for everybody, and even famous people. I tell the Neil Armstrong story where he's in a whole room with a bunch of people and he says, I don't belong here because I only went where they sent me. I was the first guy on the moon. And he's like, these guys have accomplished so much more than I have. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But when we look at ourselves, we see our flaws and we see everything that's wrong with us. When others see us, they say, wow, that's a really cool person, but we see all the negative.
You're right. And it's transforming that. And like I said, with my coach, and again, not all coaches help with that, but that's what she's helped me to do, is to turn that thinking around where it's not a place, she's really an empowerment coach. That's what she does. And for me, that's just changed my life, because a lot of coaches, and there's nothing wrong with it, will teach systems and things like that, and that is needed. But you can have all the systems you want. If you're still like in self-doubt and having all these limiting beliefs about things, a lot of times it's hard to go forward without fixing your mindset. And that is a big thing.
There's one thing I want you to tell the audience, because we talked about this beforehand, and I want you to explain the difference between the power of positive thinking versus empowerment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, this is what I learned from my coach, is she is a true empowerment coach. And when I started working with her, I really started seeing the difference, because there is so much positivity out in this world, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. But at the same time, what I have found is that positivity, it's just a lot in your mind. It doesn't get down in your soul. When I started working with her, I really realized what empowerment is, what true empowerment is about. It gets down into your soul. It's not just a mind thing. It's not just words that you repeat every day and just tell yourself and you don't really believe it. Like, she truly empowers me to be who I'm supposed to be. And it has been such a difference for me, because I've seen so many people about positive thinking. And again, I don't knock that for anyone. It's important to be positive. But for me, the empowerment is what has been life changing, because it really gets down into your soul, and it helps change who you are from the inside out, instead of just being a mind thing.
That's deep. That's really, really deep. We're going to switch gears just a little bit because we have to find out what you do.
Yes, I actually help people declutter. It's something a journey that my husband and I went on many years ago. And this has been another life-changing thing in my life, is really getting rid of the clutter and bringing calm to the chaos, as I like to say. And
I've heard this, and I think it was Laurel Langemeyer that said it. She said that God won't bring $1 million to chaos, or whatever the financial amount is, if you're not set up correctly, and you live cluttered and all this other stuff, and you've been say not a good steward over the things that you already have.
Wow.
Then why bring more?
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, I haven't heard that, but it's powerful, and I do believe that. And really, what I've learned on this journey, Jim, is that a lot of times we can feel anxious, or we feel like we don't have clarity, or things like that. And because of different things that had happened in my husband and I's life, when I looked around our house, how it used to be, it was a reflection of how I was feeling on the inside. And I know that now. And now it's completely different. You know, I used to live a life of where, as funny as it sounds, if someone would ring the doorbell unexpectedly, I would seriously think for a minute, like, okay, do I want to see this person, or do I want to really let them in, because I haven't had time to clean up yet, you know? And I've changed all of that now. And, you know, it's interesting because we have a son, and I've even learned with him with toys, which has been amazing, is what we do is, he doesn't have a ton of toys. He has some, but I put some away in a basket, and then I'll bring different toys out at different times. And I'm telling you, this child thinks it's Christmas all year long. Like, he gets so excited when I switch the toys out every few days. But I found that it has brought more focus to him, that he plays with his toys more intentionally, and he's more focused. And what I will say is, I found the same for us, is that when we got rid of the clutter, you know, when we let go of these things that we felt like we needed to hold on to, we got more clarity. And it's just been truly life-changing, because when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, I just encourage you to look around and see what is the state of your home, because a lot of times that's what you're feeling.
Yep. There's a peace that comes with clean.
Yeah, you're exactly
there really
right.
is. There's a peace. When you come home and everything's clean and everything looks nice, everything's in its place, you can just sit and go.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And you know what? You're not spending hours on the weekend when you could be out enjoying time, you know, you're not spending hours cleaning your house. That's what I used to do, shifting one pile from the next because we were going to be having company, you know. And
So how do you, without giving away too much of what you
sure,
do,
sure.
how do you organize yourself, as in, everything has its place, or how do you do that?
Yeah, everything does have a place, but the first thing I will say is one is you got to create new habits. So the thing of it is if you have laundry piled up every day or your dishes are piled up or even the mail, the best way I like to say it is this with the mail is, you know, it takes maybe a couple seconds, maybe a few minutes to just address the mail every single day. If you have bills, have a place for your bills. If you have stuff that needs to go in recycling, then put it in recycling right away or throw it out, whatever you do with it. Because what I learned in this journey is if you don't start with those habits and start creating new habits rather, it's just going to keep piling up, which what would take you a few minutes now to address your mail is going to take you hours later on when it becomes a big pile, you know, because you're going to have to go through everything and you're not going to know what's in there.
It's kind
And
of like a snowball effect.
it really is. And so, you know, if you can just start with creating new habits, and like you said, everything has a home. If it doesn't have a home, then you have to think about why you have it.
Oh, that's true. Let me
Yeah.
think about the cat real quick. No, I'm kidding. No, sorry. He thinks every part is his home. So, hey, he's old, so he gets that right. He's 12, 13 now.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah, we've had him for a long time, and so I don't know how we got on a cat. I'm sorry. It's but it's my thing, so I can do what I
that's right.
want.
And your cat's not the clutter, so
He's not a part of it right now, although he contributes hair. Anyway. So you're talking about decluttering and stuff, and I think that this is a vital part that people miss. I do. I think that people don't address this enough because of the fact that we are all busy. I mean, as an entrepreneur and all that, you're just always busy. You're always doing this, doing that. Feel like you have commitments all the time. So it's hard to develop habits to declutter and I would say de-stress your life as well.
it is, yeah.
So
But
how do you deal with that challenge and time management, I guess, would be my question.
sure. When we were started on our journey, honestly, we had a newborn and he was a few months old, and so we didn't have a lot of time. So what I teach people to do is do it in pockets of time. You know, again, it gets back to that being at the bottom of the mountain visual. Like you want to get to the top, and you just want your house to automatically just okay. I want to declutter, and you just want everything to look great, but it just doesn't usually happen like that because there's steps. So that's why I encourage people to do, you know, to create new habits. The other thing that I've done with some people that's worked really well is to set an alarm. Whether it's 5 or 10 minutes, set an alarm and assign a task for that 5 or 10 minutes. You know, like folding the laundry, get your laundry put away each day during that time, or make your bed, whatever it is that you need to start on, just start doing that. And what you're going to realize is if you're really into this and you're really ready to make this change, it's going to start building momentum. And that's what happened with me is I just started building momentum. I made a game out of it. Like we had to declutter our basement. So I said, okay, I said, every time I go into the basement, I'm not coming back upstairs till I get 5 items that I'm putting in a bag to do something with, donate, trash, or whatever. And you
Nice.
know, it was fun. I ended up making it fun, and I have to tell you, it was great because did it happen overnight? No, but I can tell you, as I kept doing that, I started seeing the changes over time, and it made me feel really good. And so, pockets of time.
There's a book that's called Andy Fazzackerly. He was on my third show and he read this and we both kind of talked about it a bit. It's called The Slight Edge. And it's basically that you do everything, you know, today to build momentum towards like a 6-month time period or whatever it may be. It's like, okay, if I ate pizza today and you had something nutritious for yourself, now today that's not going to mean much. But if you make it a habit over time, all of a sudden it makes a difference. And I think that's kind of what you're going for here.
It is. And so here's the thing. Can I teach people to do it quickly if they want to? Yes, but that's not most of the people I encounter because they're working or they're a stay-at-home parent. And even being a stay-at-home parent, it's hard because depending on the age of your child or children, you have a lot going on. And so I teach people to do it in pockets of time, like you said, build up the momentum. I can also teach people if they have all the time in the world, which I haven't run across anyone yet, but if they do, I can teach them how to get it done quickly. But it's usually just in pockets of time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna switch gears one more time. Boy, I'm like a crazy cat today. Just scattered. That's okay. It's my show. I wanted to, because I do ask this a lot. I wanted to ask you if there was like someone starting out or just becoming an entrepreneur or someone who's stuck. They're just like, I don't know. I'm not making any headway. I feel like I want to quit, stuff like that. What advice would you give to those people?
Absolutely. I have like 3 tips that have really helped me and that I've learned in my journey. The biggest one I will say is you need to come from an abundance mindset. And what I mean by that is you can't look at other people as your competition. And the reason that's just what I believe, because when you do that, you're automatically going into lack. You're automatically saying, well, I don't want to work with this person or, because they might take my clients. I know people that practice this abundance mentality and their businesses are flourishing. And yes, they have given clients away to other people, but they are just crushing their businesses. And so when you go into your business, the thing is this: people are going to be attracted to you because of who you are, your story, and how you say things. It's just like you and I, Jim. Like you and I could say the same exact thing, but people are going to respond to it differently, And so when you go into your business, don't go into it from a lack mindset, because I see so many people do that, and I did that. And the thing of it is don't look at the competition. You stay in your lane, you focus on yourself, and you focus on what you provide and the value that you provide, and even collaborating with other people. And you'll honestly, I believe that you will see how much further you can get, because I've seen other people do this as well, and I'm doing it myself. That's been the biggest thing that I've learned. The other thing is, don't be desperate. Everybody is not the right person for you, the right client. And so a lot of times, again, when you're starting out in a business, you can just think you have to work with anyone and everyone who will work with you. And again, lessons learned in that is that can drain a lot of your time and energy, where it wasn't worth the dollar amount that they paid you, because it has stolen so much more from you. So I would just encourage you to say, it's okay to say no. If you don't feel like it's the right fit, it's okay to say no, because again, it's your business. You have to run your business, and you need the time and energy to run it efficiently. And what you don't want is, because you were so desperate for the money, 1 or 2 people just taking up all your time and your energy when you could be pouring it into your business or other clients that I guess would fill your cup, so to say. And the last thing I would say is invest in yourself. Again, don't be desperate about finding a mentor. You will know when it's the right one. But what I've learned in this journey too is that, how can I ask someone to invest in me when I haven't made the investment in myself? I see so many people go into businesses and they're asking people to spend X amount of dollars on stuff when they don't even know what it feels like to do that themselves half the time. And so I've taken those scary steps. I've made investments in myself. Have all of them worked out the way that I've wanted to? No, but I've learned from that. I don't look at that as a failure. I've learned from it. And you know what? If you make mistakes, or I don't even want to say mistakes, if you have places that you're learning from, don't be afraid, because I almost did that. And if I would have been afraid, I wouldn't have found the coach that I'm working with now. And again, she's changed my life. And so don't be afraid. You're going to mess up. You're going to you're going to have learning experiences, and it's okay, because that's what's going to help you grow more as an entrepreneur and make you better at what you do.
Yes, that's very, very good advice. Yeah, that's good, Kim. I think that, wow, there was a lot there. There really was. One of the keys I took away though was to invest, and I think you're right on about that. How do you ask for something and you haven't know what that experience is like for the customer, for the person that you're trying to serve or help.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's very important. I think it's important to, exchange energy, because money is a tool. It's just energy. It's just when you come down to the basics of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're exchanging your knowledge and stuff like that and trying to help other people for money. It's basically what it is.
Exactly.
But you have to be able to put that exchange in for yourself first.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, it may not always be the right investment, but I have to tell you, because I push past the fear, um, I'm in a great place now where I'm surrounded by not only a great mentor, but I'm involved in some groups that I'm just learning so much from these people, and just we're pouring into each other's lives, and it's powerful. It is something powerful, especially if you're like an online business or an online coach where you may not be around a lot of people. It's important to get out there and network and really collaborate with other people, and just be in other groups, because a lot of us need that camaraderie, and then we also need, like, just other people to bounce ideas off of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I have a group myself, and I think it's a pretty good group. I think that we have a lot of good-hearted people in it, and I don't take everybody. I don't.
Yeah.
Try not to. We talked about that.
Yes.
But I think it's important for us as human beings to get around other people that are like-minded so that we can connect. I think it's very important for us to have a connection with a group of people that believe in us, that believe in what we do and what we collectively do. We may not do the same business, we may not do exactly the same things, but we're still working towards the same goals, and we're still doing things non-traditionally and against the grain in some ways. And so it's good to have other people that are in that journey with you. I think that's very important.
It really is, because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that, if you don't have a supportive community around you, whether it be a significant other or family or things like that, that may not really understand what you're doing, like, that's where the power of these groups can come in, and mentors and things like that. I believe they're important either way, because my spouse is very supportive, but it's just nice to also be a part of these groups, because like you said, Jim, we all get stuck sometimes. We all need help and things, and sometimes it's just taking taking a step back, and instead of running into the same wall over and over again, it's taking a step back and saying, okay, where can I make the door so I can go through it? And a lot of times, being part of these groups, that's where they can help you, because somebody can see something that is literally right there, and you're like, why didn't I see it myself? But sometimes we're just so caught up in, just different things that it's right in front of us, but we don't see it.
Yeah, it's like you can't see the forest because you're in the trees type of a thing.
Yes.
And I think that too. I think there's a lot of that where, just friends or just other people that are in this all together. And I love the fact that you don't believe in competition. I don't either. I believe in collaboration, not competition. I believe there's plenty out there for everyone. I don't see it as, oh, this person's going to take this from me or that from me. I'm like, well, I hope they do well.
Yeah.
That's really the way I feel about it. I hope if they're a good person, I want as many good people to succeed as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that starts tipping the balance, because we've had it a long time where we've had a lot of entrepreneurs that didn't have other people's best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And I think that that's starting to change, and I want to be part of that change.
And you definitely are, Jim, with all that you're creating. Like I said, I'm part of your group. It is awesome. And, when you really do come from that abundance mindset, I had to learn that, because I was never really taught that before. I never really looked at anything that way. And when I started getting a part of some of the groups that I'm a part of, I learned that. And it's been awesome, because instead of going into something else saying, oh gosh, well, because I used to think this way, well, someone else is already doing this, so why is someone going to want to work with me? You know what I mean?
Right.
See things that, no, there's enough people out there in this world that there's some people that are going to relate better to me because of my story and because of how I come across and things like that. And there's people that aren't going to relate to me, and they're going to relate better to someone else. So we're all needed. It doesn't matter if there's 100,000 people doing what I'm doing. There's still enough people in this world that will need what I'm offering, and same with you, what you're offering and what you do. And when you come from that mindset, it really does change your perspective a lot, where you're not as fearful to go after things.
Yeah, that's true. And you actually get to root for other people, which I think is amazing. I love it. I like to see people succeed. I just do. I've never been the type that said, "Oh, I'm jealous," or, woe is me. They've got all this and I've got nothing. I don't care. I don't care. You're a good person. If you see, that's my caveat. I don't have another like a filter to that. It's just, if you're a good person, then I want to see you succeed. If you're all about the money, then no, I don't care if you succeed. That's just the way I am, and I don't want to be kind of a jerk or anything, but not everyone gets to be on the show. I can't do that to people. I can't do that to the audience, the people who listen, things like that. If I really feel like this person's just out for themselves, I don't do it.
But you're smart because you're protecting your group, and there's nothing wrong with that, because even now, like, I'm much more picky about the groups I choose to be in and how people are. I don't want to be a part of the gossip. I want to be a part of where people are uplifting one another. And like you said, truly like cheering each other on and helping them. And, when people have wins, look, even if I don't that day, it doesn't matter. Like, someone else is winning, and that's awesome because they're a great person. And so I think you're wise to do that. And like I said, I've been doing the same thing since I've been changing my way of thinking with things. I really have changed the people that I'm even around or who I allow into my space.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, that's a big deal. But the thing is that I've been able to meet so many good people, so many wonderful people doing this, that I feel like I've extended my friendships and my family and the people that I consider close friends. I found new ones just because I've seen people's hearts and I've seen those type of people. That's the person I want to be around. That's the person I resonate with. The other thing I took from what you were saying is that, and I want to tell everybody this too, when you see people succeed, I want you to look at it like, wow, they did it, so can I.
Yes.
Instead of, oh, they did this because they got all the advantages, or blah, 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 whatever you want to tell yourself. It's just, they did it, and so can I.
Yes.
And through these stories and through the things that have, that are on the show, I'm hoping you resonate with Kim. I hope you see something in her story that uplifts you. And I hope that you see something in her that is, you said, well, you know what? That's a lot like me. And she's overcome a lot internally and externally. And so you can too. And that's what I kind of want to leave you with a little bit this week. But first, we're going to find out where we can find Kim online, or we're going to have the links below, obviously. But you can tell everybody what you do and what you're, got going right now.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. My name is at I am Kim Erwin. The reason I had to do that is because my name was taken, so I had to do I am Kim Erwin. And then the other one, they can find me on Facebook just on Kim Erwin. I haven't been posting a lot lately because I've been helping people and just trying to get some testimonials in and things like that. And so they can be, follow me on there. I am looking to launch some stuff in January. I'm always working with people one-on-one. I have some openings for that, but I am going to be launching something in January that I'm working on now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We'll have to keep you posted, and like Kim's in the Facebook group, and so if you want to keep updated, we'll have updates in the group. When you do come out with something, we'll have another show in January sometime when you launch, or before you launch, so we can get that out there to everybody.
Oh, thanks so much, Jim. I really do. I would love to just help people. I know that decluttering has changed my life, so I really would love to help people because I just know it can really change your life. And that's what I want to do, is just help others experience the same thing I have.
That sounds great. It really does. And so we are coming to the end of the show. Would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Well, thanks again, Jim, for having me on. And like I said, I hope you all reach out to me. Would love to hear from you and just hear your stories and just how I can help you in any way. So thanks again, everybody, and have a wonderful night.
Yep. Everybody have a wonderful night. And we'll see you probably tomorrow because I do this every night. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to say something about subscribing to this channel and hit the bell thing that I still don't know what it does. So I'm letting everybody know. So do that, and I'll see you next time.